I just want to put a disclaimer on this video right away. This video is just going to go into very touchy subjects, and it's going to be very, very disturbing. So, but without further ado, let's talk about and review the Netflix series Dahmer. I'm fucked up. I'm sick. Um, this show was absolutely phenomenal, and by all means, I'm not supporting any of the decisions that were made by Jeffrey Dahmer. I will be comparing a lot because you guys would be surprised how accurate this show is to actual events. Evan Peters did such a phenomenal job as Jeffrey Dahmer, and his performance is unnerving. Like, he said himself in interviews that, like, he had to go down a very dark path, and he was actually, like, uncomfortable filming some scenes. Like, there are some scenes in this show that are just very disturbing, and you don't want to watch. It's very unsettling. So they knocked that out of the park with depicting who really Jeffrey Dahmer is. I think he's one of the worst human beings. Don't get me wrong. But I gotta say, I felt sorry. Not for who he became, but how he was raised in this show. You got to explore how he was raised. He was neglected. His father and stuff would always, father, mother, whatever, would always abuse him. And it was tragic to see what he became. And it was disturbing. This show, it starts off with him getting arrested, and basically the rest of the episodes are you getting caught up to what he did. And then at the end, he ends up getting killed. Very brutal scene. And I'm gonna bring this up, and I'm gonna not talk about it anymore. Can I just say there were a lot of TikTok girls that were like, or something like that, defending this motherfucker, like, oh my god, I felt bad that he died. I'm sorry, but don't you think that would be the happy ending? What about what about all the victims that suffered from him? Yeah, like I said, I feel sorry for not who he was, but how he was raised, because I can relate. Like, I was raised like that too. But I didn't become a fuckhead that killed people. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. I just thought that was absolutely wrong. It's terrible that people were defending. Apparently, a lot of fangirls would actually write to Jeffrey Dahmer when he was in jail, and he enjoyed it. You can even see it in interviews. You can see it in his eyes. In Evan Peters, it's so well done how he performed, and his eyes too, like, are yellow, and it's creepy. It's really unsettling and unnerving, the limit this guy had to go to. There's parts where he ends up, like, cooking people and feeding it to people, and it's just fucking disturbing. It's absolutely atrocious. It's sad. It really is. And I'm not gonna lie, there's this one scene that really got me, like, tearing up, and that has to be the last scene when Jeffrey Dahmer dies. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was just the acting, the performance. I think it was the acting. It just felt so real. And I don't know I forget who plays his dad. I think he was a stepdad and dad, I don't know. But when he sees his son, and he's dead, he sees his face and he starts, like, bawling. He's just like, I'm sorry, I loved you from the beginning, And that just kind of got me. I was just like, no matter what, a father's love is such a powerful thing. And that still because of who Jeffrey Dahmer became, that still didn't take away, the love, which should have, but it's just the performances in here. The acting's absolutely phenomenal. This is a very disturbing show, though, and it is very touchy. Um, there are scenes in here as well where he assaults people in a particular way, if you guys know what I mean. Some of you might be too young, but it's disturbing. And honestly, watching it, like, I like the show. It's one of my favorite shows. 'Cause I like murder mysteries and like seeing the birth of it. And yeah, it's just Evan Peters did such a good job, and probably my favorite portrayal of this character. Character. Well, he is a fucking character. Yeah. Um, yeah. But I would recommend this show if you guys are interested in that kind of stuff that's similar to where I am. But if you're just watching it just because it's interesting and you just want to watch something, this is not the show to turn on, because you are going to be very sickened and very disgusted. Excuse me. How the show presents to you, if you know what I mean. But that's it, guys. I am not gonna rate this show. I'm not gonna give it a golden TV, broken TV, or a bronze TV, and that's just because the victims are out there right now, and I apologize and give my condolences to everybody who has suffered from this man. And I don't think it is right to rate a show based on an actual serial killer. So we're just gonna leave it at that, guys. Yeah, peace out. Take care.